Hi, today's day 3 of Swing Fit. Today we're going to use a rolled up towel or if you have an exercise ball, I promise we're using it this time. So we are going to start just on all fours, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips, pull in that belly button and cinch that rib cage together so you feel those abdominals working. We're just going to start with a round of breaths. So take that inhale. On the exhale, round through that back, pull the belly button towards the ceiling. Inhale and let it drop. Exhale and suck it in. Inhale and feel that stretch, opening up through that chest. Exhale and inhale. And then find that neutral spine. We're going to come on out of it. Come seated, and we're going to take a little roll down here. So not using that ball quite yet, but sitting up nice and tall, tucking that navel, curving through that spine and rolling down one vertebra at a time, all the way lying on down. So we're lying on down, we're going to draw those legs to a tabletop position. So tabletop is where your knees are over your hips, followed one leg at a time, followed by the other. Tuck that navel in, tilt that pelvis forward to completely connect your spine to that mat. If you want to add wrists over shoulders and hold them here, you can do that. Your feet are parallel, they're about hip distance or fist distance apart between those knees. You should feel that core engaged right in this position because you're pressing that navel in and you're connecting and leaving that spine connected, no arch in that back. When you're ready, we're going to toe tap alternating legs. So you're going to bring one toe down to that mat, bring it on up. Alternating other leg and up. So go as low as it feels comfortable. Obviously we want to work the abdominals here, but we also don't want to put any strain on that low back. If you need to, you can always press or hold those arms underneath your low back for support and feedback where you want to feel that spine pushing into those hands. Continuing here, make sure you're breathing. Take the exhale as you lower the leg. Inhale on the reset. A few more like this. And then taking that last one, hold it. We're going to externally rotate, connect those heels, spread those toes apart, knees are wide to the side. Continuing those toe taps in that external rotation. So we're rotating from that hip socket, feeling the work a little bit different, more through those obliques because we're externally rotated. Keeping that spine connected, keeping that breath going, holding it here. So those hips are opened up more so than before. As you lower that leg down, remember, keep that spine connected so we have that core on fire working nice and hard. If you touch your abdominals, they should be engaged. A few more like this, and then we're going to take it to an internal rotation. If that's not available to you, you can stay externally rotated, or you can go back to parallel. So where your legs are about a fist distance apart. Now pause. We're going to rotate to knock those knees. They don't have to be touching, but closer together than your feet are. Your feet are wider. So we're going to lower those legs down in an internal rotation lowering. Re-engage that core. Keep that breath going. My abdominals are really on fire. So we're just kind of getting, a little bit of a hip rotation here. We're working those hip flexors as we lower down, working them in different directions. Keep on breathing. Keeping the arms up is requiring more stability, but again, you can hold those arms down or underneath that low back. Breathing for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it back up. Re-parallel those legs, hug those knees into your chest. Take that breath. Let's stir those legs in one direction and stir them in the other. Nice job. You need to plant those feet, keep those knees bent, arms out, and sway one to one side. Keep that navel tucked in so you protect the low back. And and then bring it over to the other side, stretching out through those abdominals, and bring it back. Let's bring those arms overhead, take a deep breath, and then start to curl on up. You want to take a little butterfly stretch, connecting those feet, spread those knees. Everybody has different flexibility, but sit up tall, hinge forward from those hips, keeping that spine long. Just stretching out that whole hip socket area. And then bringing it back on up. Okay, we're gonna come on our bellies. We're gonna use the ball or the towel. So you're coming lying on down flat. You're lengthening through the arms and the legs. I'm placing my hands on top of the towel or the ball. Now we wanna be able to, scooch this towel or ball in towards us a few inches when we go up into some extension. So our gaze is at the mat. We're lengthening our legs, activating our quads into that mat, pressing the hands into that towel or ball, pulling that navel to spine like you're lifting your belly off the mat. That's how much you want to pull it on in to protect that low back. On your inhale, exhale, pull that ball or towel in, keeping those legs engaged, reaching up, getting that spinal extension, and then slowly lower it back on down. And again, inhale, exhale on the extension, lengthen, 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 and lower it down. You should feel nothing in the low back. If you're feeling it in the low back, you're putting too much arch and you're not pressing that navel to spine. Maybe your range of motion isn't high, which is fine. Lowering it back down. You should feel those glutes and hamstrings engaged the whole time and working. One more like this. And lower it back down. Now we're gonna do some leg lifts. So you're gonna try to lift that quad as much as you can up, alternating legs, keeping that tummy tucked. It's not a big lift. You can see my leg just going up a little bit here. Holding this, working those hamstrings and glutes, keeping that tummy tucked. My gaze is at the mat. My head is lifted, my hands are pressed onto my object. Taking a few more here. Keep that tummy pulled in. One more each side. And then we're gonna come into that extension, lengthen and extend, and then flutter kick it out, holding the extension as you flutter kick for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause and lower. We're bringing one hand, the back of one hand to the base or our forehead, one hand on your towel or ball. You're going to just rotate towards that hand or that arm that's bent and bring it back. And you're tucking the tummy and rotating. I have a lot of pressure on the hand that's on top of the ball, so I'm pressing my palm into that ball as I rotate. Working, keeping those hip bones connected. My legs are still activated for 3 and 2. So next one we're gonna hold it. 1, hold it. Extend that arm for 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it in, unrotate, lower it down, take a breath. Whew. Switching hands. So other hand goes to the forehead and you're gonna rotate the other direction, activating those legs again, holding that hand onto that ball, keeping that tummy tucked. Again, not feeling it in the low back, so if you have to lower those legs down, do so. Keep that tummy tucked tight. For 3 and 2 and 1. Hold it. Extend that arm for 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it back in. Unrotate, bring it down. Woo! Press yourself back into child's pose. Spread those knees apart, sit those hips back, reach those hands forward. Really feeling that through those hamstrings, those glutes, that upper back. Good spinal rotation. Press yourself on forward, coming back to all fours. We're moving that ball out of the way. We're going to tuck those toes, come into a down dog. So, tuck those toes, hold that down dog, press your hands into the mat, press your upper body towards those legs, press those heels down, holding that stretch. Nice job. Then, keeping that tummy tucked, we're gonna walk out into a plank position. Holding plank. Keep those hips lifted. If you need to come to the forearms, you can come to the forearms. If you need to come to the knees, come to the knees. But make sure your hips are pressed forward. Holding that plank. Breathing here. Try not to wing through those shoulder blades. Keep that tummy tucked, tight. Don't let it fall. No arch. Holding it here. If you feel like you're sinking, that's wrong. Keep it up. Hold it here. Breathing through. Now, we're gonna add a little bit here. So we're gonna lift the right leg. Lift it up, keep that tummy tucked, bring that knee in to a runner's lunge. Your foot is in between your hands. You're going to open up and rotate towards that hand and bring it back, reconnecting it. Bring that leg back on out. See if you can lift it up. And then bring it in and rotate and bring it back. And again, we're gonna do 3 more on this side. My glutes are fired up. I'm gonna really feel this tomorrow. 2 more on this side. Bring it in. Add that rotation. Bring it back. Last one. Lifting it up. Bringing it in. Add that rotation. Bring it back. Take that leg back to plank. Lower it down. Take a child's pose for a moment. Whew. And press yourself back on up. And again, tuck those toes. We're gonna pike up into that down dog. Feel that stretch for a breath. And then walk those hands to plank, holding that plank position. Side 2. Lift that leg up, bring it between those hands, and rotate towards that front leg, and bring it back. Extend it out, bring it in, and rotate. This should not be easy, so if you're having a hard time, that totally makes sense. Do the best you can. Maybe you only do a few. Try to stretch through those hips and also work them. Last one. Bring it in, rotate, bring it back, step out into that plank, hold it there, tuck that tummy for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower those knees down, spread them apart, set those hips back. And press yourself on back. Tuck those toes one more time. Down dog. Walk those hands towards those feet. Feel that stretch, hanging heavy with that upper body. Tuck that tummy and roll all the way on up. Okay, last move here. We're gonna get a little bit, some lateral flexion, rotation in the standing position. So let's just start with our arms out wide to the side. We're gonna just start with some plie squats. Wide external rotation. As you squat, keep those knees back, feeling it through those inner thighs. Press it up, squeeze through those glutes. So we are not in this wide external rotation squat. We are not sticking our butt out. We're keeping our shoulders stacked over our hips, and hips are stacked, depending on how wide you are, either over your ankles or in between those ankles. So we hold it here, just working that upper body or lower body here for a few more. Warming it up, stretching out through the inside of your hips, your pelvis. As you stand up, squeeze those inner thighs together, squeeze those glutes. Weight is evenly distributed between or all throughout your feet. Okay, we're gonna hold it on this next one. Bring those hands behind the base of your skull, hold that plie squat. We're gonna add rotation. You're gonna rotate, holding your hands behind the base of the skull, bring it forward, rotate. So, try not to fall out of it. It's a good balance challenge. Try to disassociate the upper body from the lower body. Keep that breath going. For 4, 2, bring it back forward. Bring it up, keeping those hands in place, lower it down again. We're bringing elbow to thigh and use those obliques to lift. Elbow to thigh and lift. Nice job. Maybe you feel those thighs, those inner thighs burning. Try not to shift your hips out. We're about done. You got this. I'm losing my balance for 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it back. Extend those arms up. Open up through that chest. Take a breath. Reach up again. Open up. And then bring those arms down and around. Roll out those shoulders. And that is it for today. Thank you.